right, folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, body, spirit, fitness, putting the healing back in health. Coming at you today with a video on the Catholic Church. And a lot of people will say, well, how come the church is so rich, right? They have so much money. Why don't they donate that to the poor? I was listening to Catholic radio the other day, and that question kind of popped up. And that guy said some stuff, but he didn't mention anything of the Bible. So I'm going to go with the Bible, and then I'm going to try and come at you with some facts about what the church actually does. So, but before we get started, the first thing I want people to understand is, if you do look up how much the church is worth, or whatever, however you want to word it, the church is worth a lot of money. But the thing we've got to understand is the church has its own city, right? Nobody lives in the city. It's strictly just for business. I think maybe the people that work there live there, like our little guards, they wear the little funny suits and things like that. And the priests and stuff live on site. But other than that, there are no citizens in our little city that we have. So we are our own city. We are our own country, pretty much, right? So why is the church worth so much? Well, we have a lot of buildings. You can't put a price. We can't just say we want to sell the Sistine Chapel, and that's worth a lot of money, right? Because it was, what was it, Michelangelo or somebody painted that whole thing, right? This famous, gifted, talented artist, and he spent years doing it, right? So you can't put you can put a price on that, but we can't just say we're going to sell it. We can't just sell our church. There's a lot of big cathedrals and stuff that we can't just sell them, right? Any church we have, we own, usually, So, yeah, we have a lot of property as well. That's why the church is worth so much. Excuse me, I apologize. So that's fact number one, right? We can't just sell our churches. We can't just sell the Sistine Chapel. That's not going to happen. We can't do it. So next, I just want to go biblical with you real quick. Where are these things in the Bible? And then I will discuss more about what some of the charities do, and we'll kind of break down some numbers. So here I'm just in Numbers 28, right? This is, of course, Old Testament, and this is what God was demanding of Moses and the people, right? So daily offering. The Lord spoke to Moses saying, command the Israelites and say to them, my offering, the food of my offering by fire, pleasing in odor. Let's see, I might have went too far. Okay, here we go. 4, 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and another lamb you shall offer at night. Also 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of beaten oil. It is a regular burnt offering ordained on Mount Sinai for a pleasing odor of the offering. Its drinking offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. So now they even got to feed the lamb before they're slaughtering them. It is a regular burnt offering ordained pleasing odor. Its drink offering shall be 1/4 to the lamb. The sanctuary you shall pour out a drink of offering of strong drink to the Lord. The other lamb shall offer at twilight with a grain of offering and a drink offering. Like the one in the morning, you shall offer it as an offering by fire and a pleasing odor to the Lord. That was on a daily basis. So 2 lambs and, the oil and the grain on the Sabbath day. Now this is just the Sabbath only, plus that. 2 male lambs a year old without blemish, 2/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a grain offering mixed with oil and its drinking offering. This is a burnt offering for every Sabbath, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering, right? So next, and you got to realize, folks, this is old times, right? They made a living off of their livestock. And God's like, offering them, you're burning them, you're killing them on a daily basis. Monthly offering, at the beginning of your month, you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year, old, without blemish. Also 3/10 of that ephah of flour for grain offering mixed with oil for each bull. 2/10 of a choice flour for the grain offering, mixed with oil for one ram, 1/10 of a choice flour with oil as a grain offering for every lamb, a burnt offering of pleasing odor, and an offering by fire to the Lord. Then you got to do an offering on Passover. On the 14th day of the first month, there shall be a Passover offering. And on the 15th day of the month, there shall be a festival 7 days. I'm going to skip down to 19. You shall offer an offering by fire, a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, more grains. Then even on the offering of the festival of the weeks, an offering on the festival of the trumpets, an offering on the day of atonement, an offering at the festival of the bulls. So look at this one, an offering on the festival of booths. We'll go in here, Lord. 13 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 male goats, a year old, without blemish, plus the offering on the second day of the festival of booths, 2 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 males on the third day, on the fourth day, on the fifth day, on the sixth day, on the seventh day, eighth, ninth, 10th. I mean, and this was their way of life. Livestock was their way of life, right? This is what they sold. And their food, this is what they sold back then. And God really didn't care, did he? Because it's not about the money. We got to realize that it's about finding God, building that relationship, leading people to God, living a holy life, which I struggle with. I'm a horrible example. Once again, I'm always going to say that. And God didn't care, right? He really didn't care. He's like, I don't care if that's how you make your living. You're going to worship me, right? I'm what it's about. Then real quick, we'll go into the New Testament, because you might say that's Old Testament. Nobody cares about that stuff, right? That's just Old Testament. We'll do Mark 14:3, the anointing at Bethany. While he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at the table, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very costly ointment of nard, and she broke open the jar and poured the ointment on his head. But some there who said to one another in anger, "Why is this ointment wasted in this way? For the ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii, and the money given to the poor." And then you go into it. What's a denarii? The denarii was a usual day's wage for labor. So 300 denarii, 300 days' wages. And they scolded her, but Jesus said, "Let her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has performed a good service for me. And for you always have the poor with you, and then you will not always have me." So once again, that's a New Testament. That was 300 days. That's a year's worth of oil poured right on Jesus. Because once again, folks, you got to get out of this prosperity gospel, this Joel Osteen type gospel where it's do great things and God's going to reward you with money and cars and things like that. That's not what it's about. It's not what the Bible's about at all. It's not what Christianity is about at all. It's about using your time, treasure, and talent to help others, right? So, like I said, just from biblical, and then go into it. I was looking into it earlier. Go into Exodus, and when God demanded that you make the Ark of the Covenant, the mercy chair, the tabernacle, the tent, how much gold and all these things were used to make this place of worship, right? So once again, it's like I always tell people, people get upset about this. God doesn't care what you think. He doesn't care what I think. It's about him, right? And fulfilling his plan for you on this earth. And it's hard to figure out what that plan is. I'm struggling with it right now. I have no clue what that plan is. Hopefully I'm going to be able to figure it out soon. Hopefully this has something to do with it. I'm hoping it does. But who knows? So next, I joined the Knights of Columbus. So I'm just at Knights of Columbus, KFC.org. So it'd be www.kfc.org, and then you'll go into something else. Click on one of the tabs you can see. So this is Knights of Columbus Men's Fraternity. It says the Knights of Columbus set a new all-time record for charitable donations and service hours in 2012. The result of the KFC annual survey of fraternal activities for the year ending December 31st, 2012 indicated the record amount of money and hours, more than $167.5 million and 70 million hours were donated to charitable causes. The Knights' financial contribution for the year grew 9.4 million. I won't get into that. Okay, here. The number of volunteer service hours also rose by nearly 64,000 from 2011, 70 million hours at an average value of $22.14 per hour as estimated by the independent sector. The value of the night service hours last year exceeded $1.5 billion. Limited figures show that during the past decade, the Knights of Columbus have donated 1.4 billion to charity and provided more than 637 million hours of volunteer service to support charitable initiatives. So that's just the Knights of Columbus. That's just the part of the Catholic Church. This is its own separate thing. That's why I say for all you men wanting to figure out how to grow in faith, I made a video on it. I'm gonna try and put it in the description box. I'm horrible at it. If not, look it up on the YouTube channel or the website. And it's another way to just grow in your faith. And I talk about that. Yes, I do mention some of the charitable works that we do, but I also talk more about how you're going to benefit from it, just as a man, right? So next, I'm on www.politifact.com. I can't see the rest of it. Oh, / church provided half social services. So this is one where some Catholic guy was interviewed, and he said that the Catholic Church provided over half of the charitable donations in the United States. I think when I read it earlier, it said he was wrong, that it's not half. But so I just want to come down. Let's see, United States, 50%. Okay. In 2010, Catholic Charity USA reported expenditures of between 4.2 billion and 4.4 billion, according to the Chronicles of the Philanthropy, which published an annual list of the 400 biggest charities in the United States, ranked by the amount of donations they received. This enabled it to rank near the top of the 400 list, behind two major social service charities, the United Way and the Salvation Army, neither of which are affiliated with the Catholic Church. Skip down, I'm looking for some numbers. Let's assume that somewhere. Sorry, guys. And look for no. I guess that was dollars. $4.2 billion and $4.4 billion. So say, let's assume that the Catholic group that didn't crack the top 400 list spent 6 times what Catholic Charity USA spent. A multiplier that exerts that experts we contacted thoroughly was reasonable. They would make that figure about $26 billion. Then if we suppose that the 18,000 Catholic parishes spent an average of $200,000 on the needy every year, beyond what they contribute to any of these charitable organizations, a number also considered plausible by experts, that would add to 3.6 billion in total. All today, this would equal about 30 billion. So how does that slice compare to the entire pie? Right? So 30 billion a year that they're estimating that all the Catholics. So that right there could probably be the Knights of Columbus included. 30 billion, right? Because the Knights of Columbus was 167 million. So $30 billion a year. And then they go in where that guy said it was going to be 50%. It says, so by estimated Catholic affiliated charity amounts to 17% of the funds spent by nonprofits on social services, well short of the 50% Kading cited. Even doubling this share to create a generous margin of error brings it to 34%, still well below half. So, right there, folks, 30 billion. All told, this would equal about $30 billion that the Catholic Church donates every year. Right? So we can't be upset. Yes, we have these big churches that were built in the past, but once again, like I said, we can't put a value on it. We can't sell it. It's a part of the country, the Vatican City, right? So, like I said, the church does a lot of great things. If you want to make a change in the world, in my opinion, join the Catholic Church. My opinion as well, we are the true Christian faith. Everybody's going to have their own, issue with it, someone saying that. But of course, I'm going to say that I'm Catholic. Next, join the Knights of Columbus. NRC, $1.67 million a year, 70 whatever thousand hours of community service provided to the community. And our church does that as well. We have Knights of Columbus there. So there you go, folks. Is the church greedy? Is it not? In my opinion, it is not. It's not greedy. We're trying to do our part, just like anybody else. So once again, I hope this helps. Subscribe to the channel, share and like these videos.